Okay, so first thing is a quick reminder on how to build the kit you're going to need for this experiment. Central item is this big pen tube. This is replacing the glass tube that it describes in the experiment instructions. That's for various reasons, not least of which is safety, because over the years doing this experiment I found glass rods can tend to have cracks and little sharp edges on them that are just more complication than they're worth. We want a rod, a hollow rod, for two reasons. One, it gives us a handle so that we're not touching the string and causing unnecessary force on the string, and also that means that at the pivot points here and here we're going to have reduced friction because it's sliding over a nice smooth surface rather than any sharp edges. Easiest way to do this: take a normal Bic pen, get your pliers, pull out from one end to get the ink tube out, being careful not to crush it, of course, because you don't want ink everywhere. For this end, to get the little flat cap out, do not, I repeat, do not submit to the temptation to try and lever it out with a knife. That's a certain way to stab yourself, so don't do that. Instead, get your pliers again, gently crack the case at this end. That will allow you to just lift the little cap out, and then get some tape. I've used electrician's painting tape here just to reinforce that end and to deal with any rough edges. On each end we want a light mass, sufficiently massive that it's going to be easily swingable but not so heavy that if it hits something it's going to do some damage. I've used a little model Imperial Assassin here on one end, and on the other end a tactical Space Marine of the 3rd Squad, 2nd Company Ultramarines. The point is something about this size and relatively light, because you're going to be swinging this around your head. You don't want it massive enough that it will injure yourself or someone else if your reactions aren't quite up to speed. And the last item that we need is paperclip, and the paperclip is going to go onto the string between the lower mass and the handle. And what's going to happen is when we're swinging the upper mass around in a circle, the force that lifts this mass will lift it until we get the paperclip like so, and that, as I said earlier, makes it really easy to measure that distance, because you just measure from the paperclip to the other end of the string and then subtract the length of the handle. It also prevents any issues with, if you put the paperclip at this end, one, if the force increases it's just going to pull the paperclip further away and you're not going to know where to measure from, and two, you're going to have friction at this end as it rotates if you've got the paperclip at this end. So once you've got a device built like this, you're ready to start getting measurements.